Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Dice for Brains podcast. I'm Ross Rockefeller. This is an actual play podcast told in an episodic structure through the course of a season. For the first season, we'll be telling a story set in the Star Wars universe, using Fantasy Flight Games' Star Wars Force and Destiny. Season 1 of the Dice for Brains podcast is brought to you by D20 GameSpot in St. Augustine, Florida. All music is composed and performed by Jared Pennick at Z-Chord Studios in Gainesville, Florida. We are fortunate to be joined by a brand new player to the world of tabletop role-playing games. We hope her perspective will provide other non-players the inspiration needed to go out and give tabletop role-playing games a try. As this is the first episode, I need to thank some people you're not going to get to meet this season. Aaron, Jared, Erica, Nick, Ryan, Lewis, Cindy, and Alan. Thank you for all the help you provided in getting this project off the ground. Now, let's meet the cast and get on with the episode.
Hi, I'm David Wright. I'm going to be playing Zen Malek. He is a Natolan advisor, a low-level politician on the planet Bavva. Zen is in his early 20s. He's average height, so 5'8"-ish, 5'9". He's got a very muscular build. He's athletic, but he looks like one of those old-timey muscle guys. He's not cut like the newer weightlifters. He's a Nautolan, which means that he's got a lot of tentacle dreadlocks. A number of tentacles rather than just the two that a Twi'lek would have. It's got green skin with a bluish hint, not so much a tint edges, but just a bluish kind of blue-green.
I'm Joshu Reynolds. I'll be bringing you Gree Tickus, a Twi'lek tentacle-headed uber mechanic. Very talented, very dirty man. He has two long tentacles growing out of his head. He's about 6 feet tall, about 180 pounds, lanky, strong, but not broad by any. Long fingers, long toes, expressive, and he has a bronze ochre sort of skin, and he has almost metallic, very light green eyes, which are very noticeable. And he also has some red patterning, or that deep orangish red that complements his bronze skin color that goes along his tentacles and across his, a little bit around the corners of his eyes and on the bridge of his nose and his chin.
Hi, my name is Susan White, and my character is Bher the Lesser. She's short, athletic, has brown hair and amber eyes. She loves to decorate her hair with gold feathers that she gets from the forest creatures. She has very, very dark skin due to the sun exposure from the two suns of her planet, and she has some facial tattoos, diamond-shaped, which are on her lower forehead. She wears the traditional fisher person's outfit, which is a long, loose pantaloon-type pants, leather shoes with grips on the bottom, a vest, and for when it's rainy and cold, she has a waterproof cape. And she has a pet. His name is Jelly, and he is a space-flying squirrel with a long tail that has a poisonous stinger on the end of it.
It's poisonous now? Was it poisonous before? That's awesome. All right.
In the discussions off air, we came up with venom and how much fun it is.
Okay, all right, excellent. Well, that's going to be unfortunate for my bad guy. So your characters are on the planet of Bavva, which is located in the Outer Rim, specifically the Anoat sector. This story is taking place right after Return of the Jedi. The Empire has blockaded the entire Anoat sector. There is a gentleman living in Bespin right now that is keeping this entire sector on lockdown. While you may or may not have heard some of the rebel transmissions regarding the battle and the destruction of the Death Star, your Empire assures you that did not take place.
Rebel propaganda.
It's just terrorist rebel propaganda, the very worst kind. So the Imperial presence has been strong and hard on your planet. So Bavva, the planet, is sort of this red rocky area.
Okay.
Everything's set up on like plateaus with deep mines that go to the core of the planet. It's basically set up on these five continents of rock, and they're seas of jungle, like rainforest style, down in these deep canyons.
Picturing a lot of fog and low level under our foot cloud bank.
Yes, exactly.
Sometimes
that.
strange noises and calls coming out of it.
Exactly. One of the big things on this planet is cliff fishing, which is basically fishing for birds off these cliffs. So people will come out with these giant cranes or small fishing rods, anything kind of in between, and cast lines into the clouded kind of treetops down here. These little jungle ravines, and we'll catch animals and all sorts of stuff. You guys are from the major area here, which is everyone just calls it Spaceport City, but it's the
Port City.
Port City, yeah, it's Bavva Port City.
We're not dealing with native inhabitants.
No, yeah, totally colonized.
Just the native wildlife.
Yeah, but it's think Wild West town. It's kind of sparse, sort of all set up on a couple different main streets, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, very, very little legal oversight.
Oh no, there's a ton of legal oversight,
Okay.
Mostly Imperial though. They have locked down everything coming in or out of any planet in this sector, as well as the sector itself.
And information, of course, as well. Like they have their propaganda machine in full force, and they have we can't contact by radio or letter outside.
Yeah, no, you've got no mass communications. Everything's funneled through an Imperial relay.
Okay.
So you can get a one-way message out, and they send it for you. Yeah, thumbs
Sure,
up. They definitely
sure
told
did.
you they sent it.
Yep. we did bill you, and we did tell you.
Oh yeah.
we
Oh,
did
they
it.
billed you twice probably.
Oh, it's like Comcast.
Exactly like Comcast.
Ouch.
All right, so where we start is a beautiful cliffside. It's a nice sort of pinkish orange horizon as one of the suns is nearing set and the other is just the weaker one, I guess. I'm using two suns. Yeah, there's
suns?
two. I don't know how it works, and I'm pretty sure every astrophysicist has said it's impossible.
No,
but-
they've pointed out actually how it is
could work.
plausible.
Oh, is it plausible? Well, if it's plausible, then definitely. So there's two of those. One's a little weaker and pinker, which is what's kind of dominating the sky right now.
Okay.
And you guys are on one of your weekly cliff fishing trips. These have kind of become a little more important to the civilization recently because of the blockade. So a lot of the external food sources have been shut down. So people have kind of been reverting to the natural wildlife for a food source again. Specifically, there's this bird that is really docile that lives in the top of the trees that doesn't really have much of a natural predator source. So that's kind of sort of become a main food source for the
They
population.
sound delicious.
They're really big. In my head, they're like cotton candy birds. I know that might sound weird.
Are they
but
pink?
They're a little pink, maybe.
Okay.
Occasionally they have gold feathers.
I was
Kind
picturing-
of downy with little tufts on their ears or heads or something.
All right, so the way these trees work, at least what you can see on the top, is they're these large kind of like pods that come off on the branches. Have you seen mimosa trees? You know when they bloom, they're like little koosh balls?
Yes.
Okay, so the branches are like that. When these pods bloom, it's this giant, pillowing, flowing, sort of airy, almost nothing.
Right. Very ephemeral.
Yeah, so these birds are incredibly lazy, but nothing's up there to hunt them. So their only natural predator is their own laziness, where they just get too fat and then eventually sink through the top layer of the trees further and further, where you assume there are natural predators, or else these birds would be everywhere.
Probably another equally lazy predator waiting for them to get so big they fall in its mouth.
Pretty much.
Also, I'm picturing their feathers are probably light. Like you said, cotton candy. I picture their feathers are probably light and weighty.
Yeah,
like
so
that,
their
too.
whole everything about them is about maintaining as much lightness as possible.
Right. Think dodo in a lot of ways, I guess. Mm-hmm. It's too easy to catch for their own good.
Why don't we call them ketos? So they're kiwi dodos.
Ketos. I like
Keto
ketos.
bird.
Yes, I think that's great.
All right, so to start off, we're going to roll a force die. So we're going to roll one of these white ones here.
Oh, dice
And this
time.
is going to give us our starting light side and dark side pool to use to spend destiny points on. So these are destiny points are the things that let you kind of shape the reality of the story, which I think is fantastic. So let's see what we start with. Just as the game master, I spend the dark side points. You guys as the heroes spend the light side points.
Okay.
So,
This is handing them off.
Yep. So just, everybody, whoever wants to roll, let's see what we got. Oh, got 2 light side to start off with.
Another light side?
I'm sure I'm going to bring all the lightness. 1 dark. I brought 1 dark point.
1 dark side.
I guess that's appropriate.
And I get to
for
roll,
Greece.
and I got a dark side.
Okay.
So we're starting off with 3 light side points and 2 dark side points to flip. So the sun is, one of the suns is setting, the pink is setting in. This is that prime fishing time for you guys. Whose pole are you using? You've got, Dave, you got the crappy little kid's pole, right?
Yes, I have the crappy
And you've got
little
the good one?
I got a fancy pole.
Okay.
I spent like 100 credits on this kit.
All right, so these things are huge. These are like cranes. So basically think of these as giant claw machine games. That's how these operate. You have to kind of go out a little bit and then, because you can't just cast right off the side. That's not what, your little crappy Fisher Price one, does. But his is a big rig. So you guys got to get it out here. And I'm assuming nobody has a speeder. So how did you guys get this giant crane out here?
I might get a lift from the proprietor of the eatery that I live in the garage of.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm helping out with putting some stuff on the menu when necessary. And I'm also fix everything around the place, to pay my rent.
Okay, so you basically needed to do some work on the speeder and quote unquote did the work is good.
I got to make sure that rattle got out of there, Artie. I'm gonna have to take the speeder out here for the day. Might take all day.
All right.
Yeah.
So you've got your boss's name is Artie.
Yes, or yeah,
Artie's Diner.
Artie's Diner. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I stay in the garage at Artie's Diner.
You've got Artie's land speeder, which he uses to cart grocery and other things.
Yeah.
It doesn't get a lot of use right now because of the blockade. So.
Yeah, it's kind of the work truck in a lot of ways.
All right. So it's a work truck, and you've basically got this giant crane style fishing pole. You guys brought it out there for the day. You grip it into the side of the cliffs, so it's got like teeth on it, so you kind of mount it down into the ground. Bears on the crane controls. I'm assuming you guys are just watching from the cliff side.
I'm kind of enjoying it right now and looking out there and listening for sounds. I find this time of day very, very relaxing. There's none of the spooky sounds really seem to hit up during the day. At night it gets kind of creepy out here.
I'm down by the edge on my stomach.
Oh, so you're just peering over the edge.
Peering over the edge.
Excellent. Well, it's good. So the way this crane thing works is it's got, a couple different pulley mechanics for the gripping and everything like that. Another one to kind of control the height. And you're watching it, and that's when I flip one of these points, because what's happened is the regulator for the height of the crane, as you guys are lowering it to the top of the trees to catch you a nice little fat cotton candy bird, the regulator snaps and the crane starts plummeting through the jungle top.
Oh no!
Oh, good, not the crane, not the crane.
And this is a lot of money for you. You see the wheels
crane.
Spinning super fast on top.
Oh my gosh!
Bher, hit the emergency brake.
Bher! We're losing the crane. We're losing the crane.
Okay, I got it. Hand me that branch over there.
I seek out the branch that she's looking for. I actually use my force power. To find the best branch I can find to save my crane.
Which is really strange because right behind you there was. So.
Yeah, like branch. Where am I going to find it from this book? Oh.
So you grab the branch.
So I grab the branch and I jam it
into
the gear wheel that is going crazy and spinning and is losing our potential source of dinner.
What are you doing to my crane?
Yeah, so you slam that piece of wood into the crane and the wood shatters. The contraption keeps spinning faster and faster and then slam stop.
Oh my gosh. We need to reel it up.
Did it stop at the end of the chain, or did it just stop?
It has just stopped. There is still a little bit of chain attached. There's some cabling attached.
Line.
Okay. Guys, we need to get that. We need to get the gripper back because, it's way down there, and we need to get it back because otherwise we're not going to catch anything.
Well, this is nuts. Can we just pull it up? Yes, Zen. Let's just wheel it up. Wheel it up. It stopped. I'm going to go over there and then try to fidget with the controls and hope Bher doesn't slap me out of the way.
Well, the regulator is snapped, so you can't use the mechanics unless you want to try to repair
blown.
it. So what you can do is there's a hand crank, you can try cranking it back up, or you could try to repair it.
I'm going to try giving the hand crank a try. 'Cause
Okay.
That'd be the first thing I did. Is this kind of I don't know what's going to come into play. I've only got a brawn of 2.
I'll give it a try.
All right, so the two of you kind of working on it together. You can get it to move a little bit, but it's stuck on something.
Okay. I'm going to call on Jelly and say, Jelly, fly down and see what the crane is caught on.
You're going to send Jelly down the crane?
Send Jelly down the little rope thing and see why we can't pull it back up again.
All right, so Jelly jumps out of your little jelly pouch, for lack of a better term, and goes running across the crane and starts skittering down the regulator, kind of spiraling down the cable.
Nice
and
rodent
disappears into the top of the jungle.
Does that thing sleep on you? Where'd it come from?
Oh, Jelly's always been with me. He's my best friend.
I want one.
Well, I doubt you're going to be able to get one because they're extremely fast, and the only reason that I have Jelly is because I found him when he was a baby, and I took care of him, and so he's bonded to me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and now he's bonded with the end of my crane, I guess. Is he down there somewhere?
Yeah, it's been
How
a
do we
little
know if he
while.
finds anything?
It's been a little while, so I'm going to call him back.
All right.
Jelly, come back here. What did you find?
Echoes down through the canyon to the treetops, but no real response on the cable.
Well, I'm the lightest of the three of us, so I'm going to climb down the rope and get him back.
All right, this is hundreds of meters to the top side. You're going to climb out. You can try to fix the crane too. You do have it's a ton of mechanical skill.
Well, I'm going to try to fix the crane, but I'm kind of concerned about Bher trying to shimmy down this. Do I have any, I think I might have some climbing gear with me that's safety oriented that she can borrow.
Yes, more than likely. We'll see if you can repair it first. If that doesn't work, then we'll send Bher down the cable.
Okay.
So,
all right, so we'll need to make a dice pool for this.
Yes. I'm going to need to roll dice
So
to try to
we'll
fix
need
it.
your mechanics skill, right? Yeah, mechanics, which is based on intellect. So how many ranks do you have in mechanic?
I have 1. My intellect is 2.
All right, so you'll start off with 1 green die and 1 yellow die. So one of the proficiency and one of the ability dice.
Yes.
The difficulty to repair this crane is going to be average. That's going to be 2 purple dice.
Okay.
And it would be 1 if you were in a shot, but since it's currently connected, it's got to be 2. And now there is a setback die here because of the location of the crane, but you get to remove setback die because of your talent, correct?
I believe so. That's 1, and I think that's in fine tuning. I can look it up because I have the page number written down, and I also have solid repair. So
it's one of those that can do it. So you remove that setback die. Now, is anybody helping you?
I think anybody who's ever had a child help them fix something or been the child trying to help someone fix something, that is basically what Zen is right now. I'm really close up.
Leaning over my shoulder.
I got the light on my comlink to help you see.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, just hold that right there. All right, let me get in here. What's this look like? So just to reiterate, I've got 2 of the purple dice, 1 of the green dice, and 1 of the yellow dice.
And 1 of the blue dice you should have as well.
Okay.
This is for helping.
A boost die.
The helper. Yes, there we go. All right, so.
Cool, give that a roll. Let's see what happens.
Okay. That one was blank, the boost dice. Thanks for holding the flashlight, by the way. And I have 2 advantage and 2 success, but 2 failures and 1 threat.
All right, so that's a net of 1 advantage.
Yep.
Although you didn't fix the crane, you did have an advantage to spend on the gear that you can hook Bher up with.
All right.
So she can descend a couple hundred meters down this crane.
Sounds great.
All right.
So I'm gonna climb
Bher,
down.
let's start your descent down.
Right.
So this is going to require a roll. So on the front page of your character sheet, we will need a climbing check, which is going to be athletics, I believe. No, this is coordination. I'm sorry. Yeah, because this is more coordination. You're trying to keep your Yeah, this is about keeping balance, I think, more than climbing. She's rigged. It's about not
Yeah.
falling.
It's not a huge physical strain, but she just has to be cautious on how she proceeds.
Yeah, exactly. Because you guys are handling most of any of the physical strain. I think you guys kind of are compensating for.
So what you're saying is when she's down there and can't come back up, we're going to have to be using athletics to climb down.
Yeah, or to pull her back
Thanks
up.
for letting us know.
Right.
Excellent. All right, so that'll be a coordination check. So what is your agility?
3.
3, and I don't think you have coordination skill, do you? You don't have a little rank in that anywhere?
No.
No. Okay, cool. So it's 3. The difficulty to do this, since it's like a cable, is going to be 1 equipment. So that happens.
And
so we've
she's got our
upgraded
help,
one of the
so,
die.
Yeah.
And a boost die for help. So you've
get-
you've got 2 ability die, 1 proficiency die, 1 boost die, and 1 difficulty die. Perfect. All right, let's roll that, see what happens.
Okay, here we go.
These little explosion symbols are successes. If you saw a triangle, that would be a failure, but you don't fail at stuff apparently, so that's good. These are threats, which are countered by these advantage symbols. Don't worry too much about the symbols. We'll kind of help you interpret, and blanks are blanks, obviously. So what we're left with is that, which is 1 success and 1 advantage. So the great thing is you are entirely successful in this.
She shimmies right down there, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And I shout out, Bher, turn on your comm! Turn on your comm!
And then you guys have an advantage to spend too. So some other kind of bonus is coming out of this. How do you guys want to spend it? Kind of defaults to you if you've got one. If not, anybody can throw one in.
There is very good weather at the bottom, and I can see clearly for a long way.
Okay, excellent. So you can see clearly through the hole in the treetop that the crane has made, and you can see that it's kind of went straight into the hollowed out trunk of one of these trees. It's older, one must have fallen down at some point, but the crane seems to have fallen directly into the center of a hollowed out trunk and is like stuck in there right
great.
now. You don't see jelly though.
Okay.
All right, anybody else doing anything on the top of the surface? I mean, Bher's got her comm on, so you guys can be talking to each other the whole time.
Yeah.
Everything all right down there?
No, as a matter of fact, it isn't. We've got the crane end is stuck in the middle of this gigantic tree trunk, and I don't see jelly anywhere.
Oh, great.
You also can't see the claw bit of the crane either, which you're assuming
About how far down did she wind up climbing, do you think?
a couple hundred meters. I mean, she's not too far past the tree line because you
Should
guys
we
were
say
trying
like
to stop.
a couple hundred feet? Or
Yeah, it sounds
something
about
like
right.
that?
Yeah, I mean, it's-
200 or 300?
This kind of works on abstract range bands.
Sure.
So basically, she's long range from you right now.
Yeah. So I certainly can't hear her conversation. Like, why
Oh
can't
no,
you-
yeah, you can't even see her right now.
So she can hear me lamenting how we're missing out on this perfect weather because my crane is stuck in a tree. Just perfect. Just my luck. Look at this place.
And there's like the little
there's like little
fat birds like running around where she's you could be
the
catching all of these right
we
now.
didn't do chodo, did we?
Keto.
Keto. Yeah, the keto birds.
There's like plump ketos. There's blue crests. A whole bunch of them hopping around right over
Award-winning
there.
blue crest you could be having at right now.
I'm going to climb down a little bit further into the trunk and try to determine what the grabber claw thing is caught on.
It's fallen in like a gripped position, basically,
widened
almost.
a little bit?
Yeah, but the tree's preventing it from widening, which is why it's kind of stuck.
Okay. Okay, so I can see the grabby part, and
Yeah,
I can see
absolutely.
how it's caught inside the tree trunk.
Yep.
And I press my comm button and I say, guys, we definitely have a problem here. I think I'm going to have to use some lubricant that I have in my pack with me, because it looks to me like, the hinges got a little bit stuck. So I'm going to take some lubricant out of my pack and
see
put
if you
it on the
can't grease
thing.
it up and get it going.
Right, because
All right.
the claw things are like this, and we want it to be like that.
All right, so she's going to use some like mechanical grease sort of on the hinges.
If you needed grease, you could have just borrowed my overalls.
Ew.
Right.
All right, so she is
really are.
applying some
I'm a busy
mechanical lubricant to the machine in an effort to hopefully get it free, right? So
Yes.
do you guys want to give it a tug and see if that was enough to kind of snap it out?
Yes.
This is what, yeah, exactly. Give us on the count of 3. Make sure you're clear, Bear, and we'll count down to 3, and me and Muscles here will give it a good heave-ho.
Excellent. All right, so the lubricant has been applied to the crane claw machine, and you guys are going to give me a athletics check to see if you can't get the crank going to start pulling this thing up manually.
Oh, athletics, we've got this, my man Zen.
Yeah, quite a few dice here. 2 each of the purple, blue, and green, and 1 yellow.
I think this will get for you then.
Ooch. Wait.
I have 3 successes and 1 advantage.
3 successes, so that is enough. So the crane it's stuck a little bit, and then you can feel it give as the last little bit kind of forces the claw shut as it's pulling out of the trunk due to the excessive amounts of machine lubricant.
Right, and then
And
Gree
once it's
almost falls on
free,
his-
it kind of like kicks on, and it's just wide. None of you guys are just like there's no resistance at all. Yeah, so you start kind of hand cranking, and you get this awesome moment where Bear's kind of holding on the side of the cable, surveying like on the top of the crane, riding the thing up as it's being brought up to the cliff surface.
Oh, well.
Yes, as we pass by the nest, I grab the biggest and fattest
And so that's
crest
how you spend days
that
advantage.
I can lay my
Yes.
hands on, and fortunately he doesn't weigh a whole lot. So Jelly is in the nest with the birds, and he's like stealing their food.
Okay, yes, all right.
And so I grab the big fat bird, and like underneath the bird is Jelly, but Jelly's not paying attention. Maybe the bird grabs Jelly and holds on to Jelly because
they're holding
he
on to the
thinks-
tree fruit. They're fighting over the tree
They're
fruit.
fighting over the tree fruit, right? Exactly. And so they're both hanging on to the tree fruit. And I grab the chicken, and there's Jelly underneath him. So I get
Excellent.
both of them.
So you've got Jelly, the blue-crested chicken. I'd make you roll it, but they're dumb and slow. And
The
it
keto.
just-
A blue-crested
so
keto.
You snatch a keto or two on your way back
And
up too.
it's too dumb to let go of anything. It's like, that's my tree fruit. Give it back. So do we have this sort of like you're dangling them out and they're hanging there, huh?
Yeah,
it's
I've
a
got,
nice
I've got
view.
the
There's
bird
like
by the neck, and the bird has the fruit, and the other end of the fruit is Jelly, and I'm yelling at Jelly, Jelly, what are you doing? I told you to go down and look for the reason that the crane was stuck. And Jelly kind of looks at me and opens his sweet little brown eyes and thinks to me, but I was hungry.
Yes,
Yeah.
you definitely get an impression of he did not want to disappoint you, but he brought you a fruit.
You know,
And
then he ate it.
And then he ate it.
Right.
it was good.
Okay, so you guys pull the crane part and spin it around, and Bear comes over the cliff edge with your little closed claw.
Right on.
The thing kind of slams on the ground. And
Wheel her right
it's
around.
good and busted.
And she's, is it?
Oh, yeah, it's good and
Oh,
broken.
no. Oh, no, I didn't notice.
So not just the depth regulator, but the claw.
The claw things, yeah, it's like gripped shut right now.
First off, I'm going to say, Bear, thanks a lot. You saved my crane. But man, this thing looks like it's wrecked. And I kneel down and I start monkeying with it like I do,
All
Over
right.
there with my little screwdriver.
So after a few minutes, you get the claw to kind of pop open,
Okay.
and what looks like, at least it looks like it, but it's severely degraded. Some kind of like bag, like a traveling backpack type thing. When that kind of flops, hits the ground, it kind of splits open a little bit, and a whole bunch of stuff comes tumbling out of it. There's a couple broken data pads. There's this. It looks like a breathing mask regulator, but not one that you've ever seen before. There's this like weird brown boxy type thing with kind of like brass inlay around the edges. There's a couple other weird things that some strange tools.
Bear, is any of this isn't your stuff, is it?
Oh man, I've never seen that before. Cool, let me look at it.
Careful. Zen, come here and have a look at this. Zen knows a lot about off-world stuff.
I set my rod on the ground.
All right.
Just like wedge it a little bit in a rock lightly. There you go. Okay. That'll be fine.
What did you find?
I don't know. There's some old junk in here, but it's not like anything I've seen before. Does this look like inner core to you?
Any of it recognizable?
There's definitely some data pads that are broken for sure.
They look like they're like overexposed, like they've been left out in the elements too long or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Do they look like the information is salvageable?
Perhaps
Give it here, I can
with
give it.
The right amount of repair, you might be able to get something.
Maybe
off
just
of it.
take the memory.
But I don't think you've got
out.
I don't think you've got the mechanical knowledge.
What about the other?
The little weird box thing. That thing's really interesting, and you seem to remember seeing stuff like this before, but you're not entirely sure.
Probably something that my lore would tell me about.
Oh yeah, definitely.
My hobby is a lot of the history of the galactic civilizations has fallen into myth and legend, and I really, really like those myths and legends. I have an intellect of 2 and a lore of 2, so I'll be rolling 2 yellow dice and 3 purple dice.
Excellent.
And I succeeded.
Oh, did you?
2 successes
Okay.
and 2 threats.
2 successes and 2 threats. All right.
Alrighty then.
Well, the threats I've spent, so don't worry about that. The 2 successes are, while it looks very unlike anyone you've seen before, you do remember a tour of several religious temples from Coruscant. And this seemed to be a way that religious information was passed between sects. Because you remember, it's a recording device. It's a recording device. That's what
It's like a weird old datapad.
Yes.
Neat.
It's a hollow something. You know,
Hollow pad.
holopad.
Huh.
Hollow cube.
Hollow
How
cubes.
How old do you think that thing is? Let me have a look at it.
Hand it over.
All right.
So you got a mechanical knowledge, right?
I have mechanical and computers.
Okay. This thing is not that old. You say it's
Wait a minute. So something is familiar on it with me. It's using.
well, yeah, it's using. You've seen these circuits before. It's using
Okay.
common circuitry. This is what you would expect to find in like a hollow projector.
Okay, so it doesn't. It could be an antique, but it's not necessarily ancient.
Yeah, it's definitely not. It's relatively new.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can verify that the data's intact or anything like that with my computers.
All right, so you try to turn it on, basically.
Yeah. See if it's gonna be able to boot up or not. You know.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and give me a roll?
Okay, so I've got 1 rank in computers,
Okay.
and so that's.
How many ranks do you have in lore?
I don't have anything in lore. I have education though.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to do a group roll because Bher's been closely paying attention to
Right.
this box.
I figured we're all
you
huddled
guys are
around
all
this.
really interested in this box.
Yes,
I'm not
yes.
sure why, but you know it's very cool. So what I'll need is I'll need to use Bher's intellect, who has a 3, so I believe she's the highest intellect amongst you. So we'll start with
Yep.
a 3. Then we're
Tough
going
and
to
smart.
use Dave's lore.
Okay.
2
So
of
we'll
our green dice
upgrade
become
2 of
yellow.
those.
Yep, those upgraded. Great.
And then we're going to get a boost die for each your mechanical as well as your computer skill.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's a big roll we've got going on.
And the
for group.
difficulty is going to be hard, so there'll be 3 purple dice.
Okay.
That is the roll to try to turn this weird
Thing,
hollow
the
projector
hollow
on.
something. What's it?
The hollow
Hollow
what's it?
cube
The
thing.
hollow jigger. The what's it? The thing. It comes out to 2 advantage is our roll.
2 advantages is the roll, and that's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what you figured out was that the first advantage was spent figuring out the reason you couldn't turn it on was because it didn't have any power.
Okay.
So this needs some kind of internal power supply.
Right, that's-
Luckily, your second advantage is you've got enough in the land speeder to rig something up to where you could hook it up to the
Oh,
car.
I can just connect this with the resistor directly to the battery and be able to
Directly to the car.
recharge it.
and start charging it up. Yep.
All right, I set to doing that as soon as
Excellent.
possible. I'm very excited about seeing what's on this thing now.
All right. So as you guys are fidgeting with the car, let me get a perception check.
3 successes and a threat.
3 successes and a threat. So the 3 successes are pretty easy, and it's wide open, so you can definitely see them coming. But jungle bird and wildlife crew heading your way. Yeah, whatever the Imperial equivalent of the Fish and Wildlife Commission is heading your way. They do constant patrols along the cliffside, basically making sure people aren't taking more out of the jungle than they should be. And with the new rules and regulations that change daily, you really have no idea how many laws, if any, you're currently breaking. So
yeah.
Imperials.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Is your paperwork out of date or what?
I don't care about the paperwork here. Hide that junk. Put it.
Let's
Give it here. I'm going to put it in the hood of the speeder. Give me that bird. I'm going to put it in the hood of the speeder.
Actually,
everything goes in the hood of the speeder.
Actually, put the bird on top of the speeder. Put the bird on top of the speeder.
They're going to take this bird if they find it.
They're not going to take anything else if they get distracted.
Oh man, are you going to?
All right, so you guys put the catch on top of the speeder, or put it in the speeder, and kind of just line up by the car or by the speeder.
Everybody, get your stuff out and be ready. Think Bher, you should probably do a bit of our talking for us, and I'll interject if I need to.
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent.
We'll put the human up front.
A little Imperial speeder pulls up, not right next to you. That thing that they do where they pull up, but not really close. So it's just far enough away to be kind of disconcerting.
Give them a minute to make the wrong impression.
Exactly. So, so the Imperial xenologists get out.
Their resource management.
Yeah.
And we're here to make sure you don't eat anything.
So simple kind of brown uniforms, pants, very crisp, very cut, and they're piling out with 2 stormtroopers.
Whoa.
So, they're always got...
Whoa.
Well, they usually, the officers are usually going to roll with some kind of backup. Right. So, and these stormtroopers get out first, and the Imperial officer, and they're just standing there looking at you and taking notes. The Imperial officer just kind of flank, and then they start approaching you.
Okay.
Well, what do we have here?
Hello, officer.
Hello, officer. We're just out here doing some fishing.
I can see that, citizen. And what are we fishing for today?
Well, our crane broke, so we've only got this one keto birds. We've only got this one, and we were just on our way home to go and get some tools. We won't be here for very long. We're just gathering up our stuff and we're going to leave.
Is that a Blue Crest keto?
It is.
Those have recently been placed on the illegal keto list, correct?
No, I didn't know that, officer.
If I had whites in my eyes, you'd be able to see that I rolled my eyes.
I'm just trying to set my jaw and not say anything to these guys. I distinctly dislike them. I'm sitting down in the speeder and trying to make myself kept out of the conversation if possible.
The governor worries that the fats in these birds will make the citizenry dull and docile. And we can't have what happens to these birds happen to the people of this great planet that belongs to the Empire. So we'll be confiscating that bird. Trooper? Yes, sir. And the stormtrooper walks over and grabs the keto bird. You could see if he had whites in his eyes that he was rolling his eyes, but you can't. He's got a big stormtrooper helmet on.
It's just a stormtrooper.
He didn't buy the officer's BS either. He knew he was just straight up stealing this bird. So he grabs the bird. Now, what else did you get out of the jungle today?
A broken crane.
We're just leaving. Which is
probably obvious because the crane is still laying on the ground.
So luckily it's not really a lie. So
we were just leaving, officers. We need to get some equipment so we can come back and fix the crane.
Excellent. So the Imperial officers start jotting down everyone's name and a description of everybody, take a picture, all that kind of stuff.
My God.
Yeah, they document the crud out of you. And it takes longer than it should, obviously, and there's a good bit of harassment going on, but they do eventually leave without searching you further.
I think we should give up, guys. we can't do any more fishing today anyway because the crane's broken, and we really need to get back and find out what's on these data things.
Well, you did tell them they were leaving. You were leaving too, so they're just sitting in their speeder.
Yeah, we'll
100 feet away, watching you now.
watching what we do.
Well, let's load up the crane and we'll head back.
Okay, I'm doing it.
All right. So we have to
All right, so load the
take it
crane
apart,
back up
load it
into the back of the speeder and
Into the speeder truck, the beater truck.
head back to Port City.
Oh,
Head back
man.
to somebody lives in a workshop, right?
Yeah, I'm in a garage by Artie's.
Garage.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Like it's
Oh, right,
kind
because
of-
you need to take the speeder back
I
there
need to take
anyways.
the speeder back empty-handed. I really was hoping to give Artie, something to fry up for us later, but
We get a nice little screen wipe to the workshop. There's speeders in it, so you guys are set up in this workshop. So what does this workshop look like? This is your place.
it's a huge mess full of everything, like from water evaporators and chunks of old swoops and the tons of tools just laid out everywhere with no real apparent rhyme or reason. He also sleeps in here, and he's got his pile of clothes in one corner, and he's got a huge collection of data pads, both working and non. A small data box of some sort, kind of like those droids that were data droids, but maybe the cheap unmobile version
Right.
that he's hobbled back together. And a lot of things that he has a ton of stuff that he's kind of tweaked out that, was broken and now it's better than before, but it doesn't look very good.
Excellent. All right.
I
So,
imagine a
Phew.
lot of it doesn't do what it was originally meant to
Gray, do you not ever do your laundry?
That sure. Before? Couple times.
Golly day. I'm going
Well-
to get you an air freshener for the next holiday.
Okay.
yeah, Jelly is not enjoying it either.
Ugh.
Jelly makes a frowny squeak noise at you.
It goes burrowing away into his jelly pack.
Yes.
It's like, oh god, it's not that bad. I hardly smell anything.
Yeah, that's because you're used to it.
Okay. Just be careful. That's the mostly clean pile.
Gross.
Oh, see if we can't. Now we've got it juiced up. Guess we should try to.
So
turn
you
it.
lay out the hall, which -1 cotton candy bird. Sorry, what was it again, Dave?
It's a keto.
Akita?
Keto.
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 Yeah.
Keto
like
bird.
dodo.
Kiwi dodo.
Right.
Kiwi
so you
dodo.
had a keto bird, now you don't. Yes, they steal all.
I bet they
of
made up that rule.
Of course
You
they made up that
know they
rule.
made up that rule. I was going to try to say something about quarantines or disease, but man, I can't even talk to those people. Those people.
It's just not worth it. Anyway, we got the most important thing. So let's see if we can find out what's on these discs.
Okay, let's see if any of this junk is worth getting enough money to be able to feed ourselves lunch.
Yeah, you should be able to make enough off of it if you
Alright.
get any of it working again.
Yeah, I guess it's salvage is salvage. I'm messing with that. I didn't make any rolls yet, so I don't think I got to power up the holographic device yet.
Oh, you want to try that one first?
Yeah, I
Alright,
totally
so
want to get
let's,
into turning
let's-
that thing
let's
on, because it
grab
might
that-
take a minute.
Let's grab that dice pool that we used earlier.
Oh, the same group dice pool?
Roughly, but we're gonna change some stuff since you're in
Okay.
your shop now.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna upgrade another one of those green dice, and we
We'll
got
need
it all
another yellow.
powered up. So we'll get another boost die.
We have 2 boost die, we have 3 difficulty, and I've got 3 of the proficiency die. The
Excellent.
yellow ones.
All right.
So I guess it's because, situations are pretty near. Hang on, I got a triumph in there.
Oh,
The assistants didn't do anything. It came out that I have 2 successes because a triumph is always a success, so that
Right,
counts
yep.
as that on top of my other success. But I rolled 3 threat.
so you've got 2 successes, a triumph, and 3 threats.
Correct.
Awesome. That's insane. Okay. So the threats are one, you're frying your power supply. So the thing the cable you've got the thing hooked up to right now, the little holocron, you're frying that cable. But that's okay, you're getting the power to it, so it's got enough to basically start it up, and then after that, hopefully whatever internal mechanism that serves as an alternator
are there
is
some
gonna take
sparks?
over.
Are
Yeah,
there
yeah.
some power draining in the room, like my lights dim and stuff?
Yep,
Like,
yep.
whoa, back up, guys. What's
Your
going
lights
on?
dim. One of the other threats is the spark has added different levels of electrons into the air, which is unfortunately interacting with the smells in a negative way. So we're kind of amplifying the bad scent that was already kind of kicking on in this room. So now you've got silicon and other hardware burn kind of layered in there with dirty laundry and whatnot.
How exciting.
And the third threat you guys don't get to know about yet. So.
I want to say that the triumph is that this holocron, it syncs itself to our faces and voices upon activation, and we're able to operate it, and it locks other people out.
Okay, I
How does
like
that
that.
sound?
That makes perfect sense.
Not that I'm aware of what it's doing, but it turns on and goes like, okay, you guys are the mama birds. I do what you say.
So it's got a bonding on activation. I like that. I like that a
Activity
lot.
confirmed.
I like that a lot. Okay. So you've got this cube, this little brownish brassy cube set up on this workbench. You got the power going to it now finally. It's kicking up onto life in a little smoke and whatnot.
And it did some strange scan. That
so
shot us like a short, quick flash from a camera, sort of.
Yeah, so the first thing that happened is like one of these like room scans where you see like a green line kind of going all the way up and down the room real quick, totally scans the entire area. And then it makes a lot of beeps and grindy, crunchy noises as it's doing some math and other processing stuff. And then a hologram starts flickering to life. And it's kind of coming up in phases and fading in and out.
Whoa.
And what you get is a average sized man. He's bald. He's got kind of a darker skin tone. He's wearing military armor, a uniform of some kind. And we can make some rolls to see if you know any of these markings or anything like that. He's definitely wearing a uniform, and he's standing in a very rigid posture. And he says,
"Hello. Welcome to Encyclopedia. What would you like to learn today?"
Dude, that is so cool.
What kind of armor is that?
This is Mark II clone trooper armor, General.
How do we drive the Imperials off this world?
Well, first you need a plan of attack.
well, that's all for this week. We'll be putting up new episodes each week, but as this is our release, we've made the first 3 episodes available now. Don't forget to review, rate, and subscribe to the podcast. You could always go over to diceforbrains.com for more information on the cast, crew, or to drop us an email. You can also follow us on Twitter and find us on Facebook. Thanks for listening. See you next week.